Hey everyone, Dharodan here, and yeah, I just recorded an entire commentary with my microphone off. Now that's just amazing. Oh well, yep, and that's that. Too bad. Should learn from my mistakes. Anyway, I'm here to talk about Jungle Katarina. I decided to play it, and surprisingly, it worked out very well. Um, you might be thinking, yeah, this guy's talking out of his ass, or he's probably playing a Bronze 5 game. No, of course it doesn't mean much, but I'm Gold 5, of course it's a normal game. I just wanted to give it a try, and I think based on my performance, I can say that it's definitely worth checking out this Jungle Katarina and how it works and if it's actually viable. I think it is. I was suspecting that Noon was at my blue buff because Jarvan took so long to get to lane, so I go and check my blue buff. I'm already level 2, so I don't really need to do the bird camp. And yeah, there's Nunu. I ping my team to come and help me out. Take some hits from the blue buff. I decide to back off and let Nunu take all the damage. I jump onto him, get my W movement speed buff. I hit him with my auto attacks to slow him. Zed comes up and tries to help me. I feel kind of bad for this, but he ignites him and flashes. But I didn't know that he was going to flash. I flash as well and take the kill. The thing is, Nunu was nearing the edge and I didn't want to risk letting him get away, so I decided to take the kill because I wasn't sure that he would be killed by Zed's ignite and flash. But yeah, later on I'm going to be making it up to Zed. I told him, you know what, sorry, I'll make it up for you, I'll go and give you a kill. And later on I will. Anyway, I will tell you why I decided to pick Jungle Katarina. It's nothing amazing, but it's definitely something to pay attention to and note how worth it is to pick this. Now, I've been checking out the forums on both NA and EU West, looking for people's opinions on Jungle Katarina, and a lot of people have been saying, like, that's ridiculous, there's no way this works. Chensino Akuma, a guy who I've mentioned before in one of my other Katarina commentaries, he is one of the best Katarina players in the world. He does solo queue, he's very good with her, and he's played over 1,000 games with Katarina. So that's very impressive, and he said just, what? Like, what? What is this, Jungle Katarina? And people said, you know, this basically clarifies that it's just not viable. I think that you shouldn't just take someone else's word for it, but actually go and investigate yourself. Now, of course, I could have taken other people's words for it and been like, okay, well, clearly it isn't viable. I'm going to give up, not playing Jungle Katarina. Instead, I first decided to try out Jungle Cat in a normal game, or in a custom game even. Just went to try and clear the camp as fast as possible, checking how well I could clear it without taking much damage. And also here, look, I don't have any CC, but we do get a knock-up, and I slow him with my red buff, so that's something. Then Lucian over there, I jump onto him, burst him down, so that's something good I have. Even though I don't have CC, I do have high damage, so that does increase our kill potential. Not with CC, but just with raw damage. But like I was saying, don't just take someone's word for it who says, oh, it's not viable, therefore don't play it. I decided to try it out anyway. I tried it out in a custom game. My clear time isn't bad at all. It's very surprising how well it goes. And I went to playing it in a normal game, and I did very well. My first game wasn't too bad, wasn't too good, but that was mere. Oh, by the way, here's where I tried to give the kill to Zed. I waited too long, end up taking damage from Malzar, but Zed does pick up the kill. We do get the assist, and Zed gets the red buff, so that was definitely worth it. But just a shame that I died. So next time I won't make the same mistake. I will just take the kill if my life is on the line. Anyway, as I was saying, I keep just stopping myself from saying what I want to say. Yeah, it's viable, definitely. It's just like you don't have any CC, but you do have great mobility and you do have great damage. So, yeah, you might not be able to CC everyone, but that doesn't mean that you're not a viable jungler. Evelynn also doesn't have the best CC pre-level 6. Same goes with Warwick. Warwick doesn't have... Okay, but Warwick makes up for it later on. But Evelynn doesn't have the best CC pre-level 6, and even at level 6, it isn't amazing. It's a 30% slow for 2 seconds. but she's viable. Yi has no CC at all, but he's viable, so why could Cat not be viable? So I'm going to tell you how I actually play this out, what runes I take, what masteries I take, and how I think it works. So what I like to do is always start out at the opposite of my top lane. I like to go top lane and put pressure there as soon as possible. In this game, the opposite of top lane is the bot. Well, it's always the bot lane. What am I saying? The opposite of top lane is the red buff, so I decided to go for the red buff instead, which is fine since you don't use mana. It really doesn't matter for which buff you go. So I decided going for the red buff. And yeah, with my W I can clear it fairly quickly. Because your W is on like a 3-second cooldown, it's pretty good. Not much of a problem. Fairly good clear speed. Your E reduces damage that you take, so that's also quite nice to have. Your Shunpo. And your Q, forgot what the name of the Q is, but your Q also has nice clear in combination with your W. So what I would recommend, start with W, then go for your Q, then go for your E when you want to gank, and max your W, then your Q, then your E, and take your ulti whenever. It really works. The clear time is not bad at all. Of course, it's not as fast as the fastest junglers out there, but I can guarantee you that it's faster than some of the junglers out there that are being played today. There are junglers that are being played today that are in the meta that have slower clear speed than AP Katarina. So that's something to keep in mind here. For my runes, I go for attack damage marks because 1, Katarina does skill with AD on her W and her ultimate, skills quite well, so you might as well have that extra bit of damage. Going for magic penetration on your marks or hybrid penetration doesn't really help you in the jungle, since the resistances from the jungle camps are fairly low as well. So you're most likely, at least with magic damage, you will be dealing true damage anyway. So going for more magic penetration won't increase your damage, so you might as well just go with AD. Also, it increases your clear speed because of the extra damage on your auto attacks. So whenever I don't have my abilities, I can just hit away, hack away with my blades, and still do decent damage and clear, well, decently. You can always pick up some magic penetration later on in the game, but having that extra... Oh, by the way, I go here, get a nice double kill. I take way too long killing Lucian, so I get my resets too late. I do get flayed by Thresh into the tower, take a tower shot, and I'm unable to pick up the pentakill. Too bad. It's such a shame, but it was very close, and we still aced them, and it was a nice play after all. But you can always see at... Always looking back, even though it's a nice play, you can always find these little mistakes where you could have improved a little bit, and looking at those mistakes also makes you a better player. For example, what I should have done, instead of backing out, I should have kept on attacking Lucian, could have attacked him with my auto attack, but I tried to run away a bit, and while running away, I didn't deal damage, I was just taking damage and waiting for my cooldowns. If I just attacked him with my auto attacks, then I would have been perfectly fine. Anyway, back to the runes. Also, have a look at this. Jarvan is pretty strong here, and that is because I've been ignoring the top lane for most of this game. Usually I try to gank top lane first, try to pick up a kill for my top laner, and then I'll just leave him alone for the rest of the game, unless I think we can get another kill and take the tower. But usually I just leave top lane alone a bit, but in this game it was kind of a mistake of me to leave top lane alone like this because Jarvan got really big and he's really strong. So back to the runes, go for armor seals because armor seals are just great to have when you're jungling because everything deals physical damage, so straight up armor is the way to go. Then you want to go for ability power glyphs, just to have that extra bit of damage on your abilities, and ability power quints for the same reason. You don't really need resistances as you will be picking that up later on, and since you're most likely not going to be facing mages unless you're ganking with like 50% HP, you should be perfectly fine having low magic resistance for bits of the game. You can always pick up some MR items later on, but having that early damage output is much more important. I use the same runes and masteries on Evelyn actually, so if you would like to have a better view at those, you could check out my logging page and look for Eve/Cat. Those are my runes and masteries, so it should be fairly easy to find. Now, as I was saying earlier about top lane, I usually try to look for one kill, and I ignore top lane unless I think I can pick up a kill and get the tower. Now, for some of you out there, this might just be very standard logic, but a lot of people actually don't get this, especially in higher ELO. What you want to do is you want to go for more objective focus than anything else. What I see happen a lot in League of Legends is that people, especially junglers, they go to a lane, they get the kill, and immediately they leave the lane. Either you want to tax, you want to push the wave so that the enemy laner misses out on XP, or you want to push the wave and get the tower, or at least get tower damage off. Because in the end of the day, you can have more kills, but if the enemy has more objectives than you do, they are more likely to win. Because having a tower, one of the first towers in the game, it puts so much pressure on the enemy because their wave gets pushed back. You have more vision on the map than they do. It's much more difficult for them to keep an eye on you since the wave is most likely pushed and they don't have a tower anymore. You're able to roam, whether you're a top lane, mid lane, or bot lane. And being able to roam is crucial because you will be able to help out other lanes combined with the jungler. Bad play from me right there. You'll be able to help out other lanes to get more objectives, let's say the dragon or the tower. So going for those early objectives is very good. I should have probably camped top. Well, Jarvan was very strong. But what you saw me do a lot is I showed up bot a couple of times trying to get objectives, just trying to get the tower, because getting towers opens up the map, it gives you more vision on the map, puts more pressure on the opponent, they have less vision, and it makes it easier for you to go for even bigger objectives like the dragon, which also gives you gold lead. So yeah, kills are great, but they're not the main reason you're going to be winning a game. That's something you have to keep an eye on. Kills are great, but kills don't win you the game. Objectives do. Because in the end, you need those towers down to get an objective. You should see kills as nothing but tools to get an objective. And if you can get that objective without the kill, or as soon as possible, then you should go for it. My team got kind of caught out here. Was a bad engage, but I tried to go in anyway, see how many people I could kill so they wouldn't just group up and push mid lane. I do end up getting a double kill. Lucian took me out because we couldn't really get a grip on him since we got caught out. But Zed still gets the kill onto Nunu, so that's pretty good. Glad that he got that. I must say that I was really happy with my team this game. I am pre-made with the Ezreal and the Riven. They're friends of mine who I play quite a lot with. And I know one of them is a viewer, and the other one is a viewer. A friend of the viewer and / friend. So I play with him quite a lot with Ezreal, and every now and then I play with the Riven as well. And I must say both of them performed really well. Even though Jarvan was that strong, Riven did really well at holding her own in the top lane. Even though she's somewhat lost her lane, it wasn't too bad actually, since she didn't feed big time. Well, it's not like I'm saying she fed, but just not fed a lot. No, she didn't feed. So that allowed me to somewhat slightly ignore Jarvan and focus on the mid lane and the bot lane. And because of that, the bot lane and the mid lane were somewhat stronger than the opponents. Look at Malzahar. Malzahar is currently at 3 and 9. Thresh is 2 and 7. Lucian did pretty well later on. But at least I put enough pressure on my lanes to get them far enough that they still have some presence in the game. I do believe that I'm still carrying, but I could definitely rely on my team in most of the situations. There is a situation later on in the game where I'm like, come on team, let's keep on pushing. Most of them are down and my team just doesn't go for it, which is understandable somewhat, but there was a bit of miscommunication there. But mostly I could rely on my team. Which actually, oh, by the way, so we kind of catch them out here. I see Ezra use the ult. I know some of them will be low. I'm trying to look for a good opportunity to go in. I'm kind of trapped in there. I use my ulti onto Lucian. I do get Malzahar. I get Jarvan. I try to get Nunu, but he runs away. So that's another opportunity for a pentakill gone. Didn't even get the quadra this time, but we did get the triple kill. This was the moment where I'm talking about. Look at this. So we do end up pushing up. The inhibitor is down. Yeah, the inhibitor is down. Sorry, I have to get used to the new map for a bit. By the way, I love the look of the new map. It looks very good. Anyway, I'm trying to get my team to go for the tower. Yes, we do have 2 minions left. So, and Riven is very tanky right now because she did go for a defensive item. So I was like, come on, let's get one more tower. Most of them are down still, and now they got back up. Someone pinged Dragon, and I was like, no, we should not go for Dragon because they can, one, either chase us and kill us right there and go to Baron immediately, or just go to the Baron right away, and we will be too low on HP to actually contest it. So I decided, you know what, guys, let's go back. They still end up doing the Dragon, but I just didn't want to follow up on that, because if I died, it would be terrible for the team, because we would be missing a smite, and they do have the Nunu Consume plus the smite. I'm very happy that we actually didn't get into a Baron fight with these guys, like a proper Baron fight, because Nunu would be able to outsmite me big time with his, what was that called again? The Chomp Feast? No, not Feast. Consume, yeah, the Consume plus the Smite, which both deal true damage. I probably wouldn't have been able to contest that. So I'm glad that they didn't force a Baron fight. And yeah, we were able to keep the game going in our way pretty much the entire time. As you can see, they haven't gotten the mid tower at all. They got top tower, they got bot tower, but they didn't get the mid tower. So that's very good. And as you can see, they can't really make much of a push because they still haven't got that tower. And mid lane is the easiest way to push because it is the shortest lane in the game. It's much easier to push. By the way, I get caught out here. Instantly activate my Zonius. I try to survive. I jump onto Malzahar, but he uses ulti on me immediately. I die, but my team cleans up everything. As I was saying, because they didn't get the objective of the mid tower, it's very difficult for them to actually push something out, and because of that, they couldn't really make a play or do anything like that. But we did get the towers, and we had much more pressure this game. So the game is coming to an end. I should wind it up real quick. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, give me feedback on what you think of Jungle Katarina, if you have tried it out yourself, if you're going to try it out yourself, etc. Let me know anything. Just give me some feedback or whatever. If you want to say hi, just comment. If you would like to see more, then feel free to subscribe. I'm going to be doing a live stream, so link in the description to my Twitch page, and have a good day.